Begin in mountain pose, standing with your feet parallel and as close together as is comfortable. Evenly distribute your weight between your heels and the balls of your feet. Lengthen your spine, lift your chin, spread your fingers wide and shine your palms forward. We'll take 5 rounds of Sun Salutation B today. If you'd like to set an intention for your practice, I invite you to do so now. For chair pose, inhale, bend your knees, send your hips back, engage your core, lengthen through the spine, and raise your arms overhead. Bring your palms together and look at your hands. Forward fold, exhale, hinge from your hips and fold forward. Half lift, inhale, lengthen your spine and look forward. Plank, exhale, plant your hands on the mat. Inhale, step back into plank. Vinyasa, forelimb staff pose. Exhale, lower your biceps in line with your torso. Inhale, upward facing dog. Push up, roll onto the tops of your feet. Open your chest and look up, keeping your core engaged. Exhale, downward facing dog. Shift your hips up and back. Roll over your feet. Inhale, warrior one. Right leg steps forward, arms up and overhead, palms together. Exhale, plank, hands on the mat. Vinyasa, four-limbed staff pose as you exhale, lowering down. Inhale to upward facing dog, opening the chest. Exhale, downward facing dog, shifting the hips up and back. And inhale, warrior one, other side. Left leg steps forward, arms reach overhead, palms together, look towards your hands. Exhale, plank, plant your hands on the mat, step back. Vinyasa. Exhale, four-limbed staff pose, lowering down. Inhale, upward facing dog, opening the chest, looking up, core is engaged. Exhale, downward facing dog, hips up and back. And we'll stay here for 5 breaths. Really press all 10 fingertips into the mat. Lengthen your spine and keep your core engaged as you look towards your navel. Half lift, look forward. Inhale, step between your hands. Lengthen and look forward. Exhale, forward fold, bending your knees as much as you need. Inhale, return to chair pose, bending the knees, core engaged and spine long, arms overhead, palms together, looking toward your hands. And exhale, stand up into mountain, arms by your sides. Inhale, return to chair pose, bending your knees, hips back, core engaged, spine long. Exhale, forward fold, bending your knees, hinging from your hips. Inhale, half lift, lengthen, and look forward. Exhale, plank. Vinyasa, exhale, lower to four-limb staff pose. Inhale, upward facing dog, opening your chest. Exhale, downward facing dog, hips shift up and back. Inhale your right leg forward, warrior one, arms overhead, palms together, looking up. Exhale, plank. Vinyasa, four-limb staff pose. As you exhale, upward facing dog on an inhale, downward facing dog on an exhale. Inhale, warrior one, left foot steps forward, arms up and overhead, looking towards your palms. Exhale, plank. Vinyasa, exhale, lower to four-limb staff pose. Inhale, upward facing dog, opening your chest. Exhale, downward facing dog, hips up and back. For half lift, look forward. Inhale, step or hop between your hands. Lengthen, look forward. Exhale, forward fold, bending your knees if you need. Inhale, engage your core, chair pose, knees bent, hips back, arms overhead, palms together. And exhale, stand back up into mountain, arms by your sides. Inhale, return to chair pose, bending your knees, hips back, arms overhead, palms together, looking up. Exhale, forward fold, bend your knees, hinge from your hips, fold forward. Inhale, half lift, lengthen, and look forward. Exhale, plank, plant your hands. Inhale, step or hop back. Vinyasa, exhale, forelimb staff pose, lowering down. Upward facing dog, inhale, push up, open your chest, core engaged. Downward facing dog, exhale, shift your hips up and back. Warrior one, inhale, right leg steps forward, arms reach up and overhead, palms together, look up. Exhale to plank, flow through your vinyasa. Exhaling down to forelimb staff pose, inhaling to upward facing dog. Exhaling to downward facing dog. Inhale, warrior one on the other side, left foot steps forward, arms overhead, looking at your hands. Exhale to plank, planting the hands on the mat and stepping back. Flow through another vinyasa. Exhale, lower down to four-limbed staff pose. Inhale, push up to upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Shift your hips up and back. For half lift, look forward. Inhale, step or hop between your hands. Lengthen your spine and look forward. Exhale, forward fold, bending your knees if you need to. Inhale to chair pose, knees bent, arms overhead, palms together, looking up. Exhale, stand up, mountain pose, arms by your sides. 2 more times. Inhale, chair pose, hips back, knees bent, arms overhead, looking up. Exhale, forward fold, hinging from your hips. Inhale, half lift, lengthening. Exhale, plank, and flow through your vinyasa. Exhale, lower down, four-limb staff pose. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, right leg steps forward, warrior one. Exhale, plank, hands on the mat, step back, vinyasa. Lower into four-limb staff pose. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, left leg steps forward, warrior one. Exhale, plank. Vinyasa, four-limb staff pose. Exhale, lower down. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. For half lift, look forward. Inhale, step or hop between your hands. Lengthen. Exhale, fold forward, forward fold. Inhale to chair, bending your knees, reaching the arms overhead, keeping the core engaged, hips pressing down. And exhale, return to mountain, arms by your sides. Last time. Inhale to chair pose, sending your hips back, lengthening through your spine, arms overhead, looking up. Exhale, forward fold, hinging from your hips, fold forward. Inhale, half lift, lengthen the spine. Exhale, plank, plant your hands. Inhale, step or hop back. Vinyasa. Exhale, four-limb staff pose, lowering down. Inhale, upward facing dog, opening the chest, looking up. Exhale, downward facing dog, shifting the hips up and back. Inhale, warrior one, right leg steps forward, arms reach up and overhead, looking up. Exhale to plank. Take a vinyasa. Exhale, forelimb staff pose, lowering down. Inhale, upward facing dog, opening the chest. Exhale, downward facing dog, shifting the hips up and back. Inhale, warrior one, left foot steps forward, arms reach up and overhead. Exhale, plank, and flow through a vinyasa. Exhale, forelimb staff pose. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. And breathe here. For half lift, look forward. Inhale, step or hop between your hands. Lengthen your spine. Exhale, forward fold, bending your knees if you need. Inhale to chair pose, reaching your arms overhead. Exhale to mountain, arms by your side, standing up. One more chair pose. Inhale, bend your knees, send your hips back. Really lengthen through your spine. Really send those hips back. Exhale, hinge forward, forward fold. Inhale, heel toe your feet to the width of the mat. Exhale, turn your toes out and lower down into a yogi squat. Inhale your hands to heart center. Bring your elbows inside your knees. Press your knees into your elbows. Exhale, release your hands to the mat and lower down onto the mat. Slowly roll all the way down to lie on your back. When you get there, let your feet fall open to the sides. Let your hands rest away from your torso. Get out any little movements you need to get comfortable in this final resting pose. Wiggle your fingers and toes. Roll your wrists and ankles. Bring your feet together, point your toes, reach your arms overhead, and stretch your full body in both directions. As you exhale, roll over onto one side, curling into yourself. Using your top hand, push yourself back up into a seat. In easy pose, bring your hands together at heart center. We'll take a few breaths together to round out our practice. Let's inhale for 1, 2, 3, 4. Open mouth, exhale, sigh it out. 4, 3, 2, 1. Again, inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4. Open mouth, exhale, sigh it out. 4, 3, 2, 1. One more time. Inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4. Open mouth, sigh it out. 4, 3, 2, 1. Take a moment to thank yourself for taking this time for yourself. Any time spent on the mat is time well spent, I always say. Thank you so much for practicing with me. I hope you have a beautiful, beautiful day.